How you guys doing? God bless you for watching this video. Welcome to how to play chess from an intellectual perspective. Chess is a civilized game, a game of strategies, a game of intellect. Being able to understand the board perspectives. Some people play on memory, right? So the methods of your move go in certain sequences. And so, because of great memory, then you are able to analyze the moves and outplay the next opponent. Some people play based on, being, a couple moves ahead. In that perspective, that allows them to, develop a plan or a trap in that perspective to be able to then figure out their opponents to, of course, checkmate their opponents. Well, to me, I know that there's levels, and the level that you can perhaps go to maximum is maybe 3,700, right? And so maybe beyond that, but 3,700 seems to be, the highest for a human being to ever be able to go to that level. And it requires a lot of different things, movements, analyzing plays before it happens, being able to analyze the board, because the foundation of the board, right, will give you basically a greater advantage if you start to analyze the patterns on the board. Because a lot of times playing different opponents around the world, right, on chess.com, I am able to understand the different methods from different regions, from different countries, and different players. And what happens is these players, sometimes they get tripped up by the patterns on the board. And it happens to the best of us. So to me, chess does not have a master. It just has a technique, your perspective of your technique against your opponent's technique. And when you execute those techniques will give you a better advantage of the methods or of the game so that you can strategize and put your opponent in checkmate. Meaning that regardless of who you're playing against, if you focus on your strategies, if you're confident in the moves, if your thinking method, right? Like blitz, when you're playing blitz, you have to think quickly in the tournaments and stuff like that. However, the methods on being able to respond, right, in the time manner helps too, because time management is also a great part of, your strategy. When memory comes into play. So tell me, how would you be able to defeat an opponent with a great, memory? Or how are you able to defeat an opponent with great strategy? All of these things is, methods that you grow maturely. Sometimes, some opponents may lose, bishop or a knight at an early stage, right? Or even a queen sometimes. How do you defend your kingdom after those methods, right? All of these things are part of the strategy, because you have to learn how to play with each piece, and you have to learn how to play with those pieces exceptionally well, because you never know who you're playing against, and you never know the moves that they make to be able to eliminate your opponents. So that's just my foretake on chess, right? And the games that I played and the tournaments that I, managed to play. Even though right now I'm at 1600, right? 1600 is not that high in chess, is probably medium. I tend to get better in the strategies, but I've learned a lot in how to put the structures together. And I am still understanding the concept of becoming better, right? Checkmating your opponents quicker, playing a lot of blitz games, solving some puzzles. Really, I haven't really solved a lot of puzzles, but it depends on how you learn, you know. As a player, it just all depends on how you learn. Some people learn by playing rapid games consistently, being able to understand, great openings and figuring out strategies in different methods. Some people analyze other people's methods and then try to use that as a form of strategy. But I prefer using creating my own understanding of the game so that it becomes part of you, right? Because great method or great memory of different strategies and different moves, right? Because we all know it has hundreds of thousands of methods in chess, right? And so you can't really pinpoint a certain method, right? And if a different moves gets made and you remember those moves, the downside of that is if somebody plays over time and it becomes part of them and they're able to defend against, their opponents, then they would have the advantage because they're able to utilize every aspect of their pieces, right? So until you have mastered every single piece and you have exceptionally are able to use those pieces exceptionally well, then to me you haven't leveled up to, being a great grandmaster in chess, as I call it, right? Because there's all kinds of strategies in the world and there's all kinds of methods. However, these methods are, only works in sequence if you are playing somebody who's also on that same level. But to me, in other hand, it's better to play that player. If you're playing a player, then you are counting on the pressure of that player, because some pieces on the board, right, are more valuable than other pieces on the board. So if you are able to apply more pressure, right, more on the attack mode with great pressure and great method, then perhaps you have a greater advantage of winning. So tell me if you think what I have said, is well said or no, or, what your opinion is based on chess, I guess, right? Let me know in the comments below. Stay motivated. Have a great day, guys. Bye now.